And welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, that website address is theclinicaltrialsguru.com. I've done several posts related to social media and clinical trials. And by the way, this video is for the research professionals out there. So I've done tons of stuff for you study participants as well. Check it out. But this one is specifically aimed at the research professionals, in particular the ones in charge of business development for their research clinics or if they work for a CRO. Business development is important because no matter what business you're in, you've got to make sure that your company is getting a pipeline full of new work to work on. So even when you're busy with a lot of studies or a lot of contracts, if you're a CRO, you still need to plan ahead so that you can continue staying busy and stay at that consistent level. Even growing. Growing is good too. So business development, it's a huge responsibility. And this video is going to be talking about different ways that social media can help with business development. And I'm going to do future videos on specific social media platforms. Like I'm going to do one on Twitter, I'm going to do one on LinkedIn, I'm going to do one on Google+, I'm going to do one on Facebook. And a few others. There's some other ones like Quora and things like that. This video is just an introduction, kind of a more of a general overview, and I don't want to take too long on this video. It's probably going to be about 5-6 minutes. But anyways, how do you use or how can you use social media for business development? And when I say social media, I mean, marketers kind of went crazy with this term. What we're really talking about is the internet and the way we use it. So about a decade ago, email was big. And so email was social media of that time. Now it's platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, where we can communicate, but it's more of a real time and kind of like an always on mode. We're always on. If you have one of these, or one of the, I can't find my iPad, but if you have one of these devices, you're always on. So, why is that good for business development? Many different reasons. My favorite platform for business development purposes is LinkedIn. Okay, LinkedIn, you generally connect with people who are related to your niche. Otherwise, your colleagues or people you work with from other companies. So, for example, myself, I'm connected with a lot of people from CROs, from other research sites, from pharmaceutical companies, and I find a fantastic way to do business development. And because I do all these blogs and videos and articles, I mean, I have an advantage, but the field is wide open for anyone who's creative enough to start a LinkedIn group. I mean, we can go on for days about LinkedIn, and that's why I'm going to do another video on just LinkedIn alone and how it can help for business development. But the bottom line is you want to stand out, you want to connect with people so you become like a trusted source of information and of value. You really have to provide value first, and then you'll start getting a lot in return. So, for example, with me, my job is to get new clinical trials. So I'll network with not just people from CROs and pharmaceutical companies, because that's obvious and they get pitched all the time. Although I do approach them now because my blog allows me to do that. It serves as kind of a handshake or a virtual handshake. But I interact with other people in my position from around the country or even across the globe, and we share studies all the time. We don't share confidential information, but I definitely get leads from people saying, hey, these guys are looking for sites to do this kind of trial. And then I'll also send leads like, hey, these people are looking for more sites for these kind of trials. Things like that. And you need, depending on how many studies you're looking at, you need a good base of people to exchange study leads with. And in many cases, these are your competitors, although they're not in your same geographic area. I mean, they're kind of competing with you in a way. Of course, the ones in your own geographic area are competing with you more. But LinkedIn is such a fantastic tool for doing this, and you can get really creative. Like I said, if you don't want to blog, although I highly recommend you do blog, if you don't want to blog, you can just create like a LinkedIn group and have interesting conversation, interesting content. Don't just talk about this is what I need. I'm looking for studies. No one's going to join your group. No one's going to read your stuff. But if you actually provide a real value, what are some things you've learned as far as business development? What are some strategies that have worked for you? It's okay to share that stuff. It's not secrets. People are going to figure this stuff out anyways on their own. Better they find it out from you, because they're going to consider you a trusted source, and they're going to have you in their head each time they're using that strategy, and they're going to say, yeah, I learned this from so and so. You want to be in people's heads. So LinkedIn, again, I'm going to do another video just on LinkedIn, maybe a written post because it's a lot for a video. Twitter is a great way. I've talked about it earlier, using Twitter to find patients, find research research participants for your studies. We're not going to get into that. Twitter is a fantastic place for that. We're going to talk about business development. Again, you can find your colleagues in the industry, same concept as LinkedIn, but it's much more casual. So you can find out, let's say I have someone who I exchange leads with in Boston. I can find out that he's a Red Sox fan, or she's a Red Sox fan, or whatever. We can just have a more informal dialogue. It's kind of like a cocktail party online. You can just talk about things outside of clinical trials, but the context is still, you guys are industry colleagues, you guys are resources for each other. Twitter is a fantastic place to build real relationships with people online without having to travel. Again, just from your phone right here, or from your tablet, or from your desktop. I realize some of you guys don't like to have these things. I don't know why. Another one's Google+, and this one is, you interact, that's the point. It's kind of like Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn, and it has some of the best features from all. But the most important part about Google Plus is you get found in the search results. So all the search results on Google really loves to promote Google Plus. So you want to put your best content on there so people can find it with the best keywords. That way you can build new leads for yourself when it's time to exchange business development leads and things like that. Finally, Facebook, it's debatable whether this can actually be used for business development purposes. I do, just because I add a whole bunch of people on there, so I kind of use it like LinkedIn. Although I'm finding it's not the appropriate place for it, but I have had success. I have a few people on there I share study leads with that I only know through Facebook. So the bottom line is you kind of want to be everywhere and use everything, but everything's used for different reasons. Like Twitter's more casual, LinkedIn's more professional. LinkedIn also has the groups. Then you have Google Plus, which you do it primarily for the search results. And then Facebook, which, use it however you want. Just try to find a way to use it. You can create a page similar to a LinkedIn group. There's so many different ways to get business development. As you can see, this video has gone on way too long. I'm going to do many more videos on this in the future. Right now, I want to give a shout out to my Clinical Trial Guru producers. For $99 for a lifetime membership, I'm only accepting 100 people. Right now, I have a few more spots. So email me, dan@theclinicaltrialsguru.com if you're interested. And check out my website for the benefits you get for being a producer. There's just so many. $99 for a lifetime membership. Sarah Elizabeth Siegler, Resolve Research Solutions, Accurate Clinical Trials, Erdhart Clinical Trials, PTNR, Patrick Stone from Tradestone Academy. We have Darshan Kulkarni from at FDA Lawyers, Breakthrough Clinical Trials, Southwest Clinical Trials, and Biopharm Systems. Thank you very much, and this is Dan from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Take care.